It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly. That Business Show gives a voice to Tampa Bay's entrepreneurial community and highlights our community leaders, aiming to inspire and educate our listeners. Become a part of the entrepreneurial movement today by becoming a member of the Tampa Bay Business Owners and get your brand on air today. Visit TampaBayRadio.com for more information. All shows available on demand. Now, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and I hope you all like the new opening. Kelly made me do it, so I had to do it. So
it's about time. Good morning.
Kelly Wilson, the new co-host, as a lot of people noticed, the show is now That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, and so we welcome Kelly in here 3 weeks ago, and she's doing a good job adding the feminine touch to the morning discussion. So thank you so much, Kelly, for joining in each and every morning. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, thank you. I don't know how excited I am about it being election day. I'm very ready for this to be over.
You've already cast your ballot,
yes,
correct?
Yeah.
I myself have to drive back up to Lutz after this to go vote because I've not voted yet.
You could just wear my sticker.
I could just cheat and tell everybody I voted. I'd feel really bad if it came down to one vote in Florida then at that point, and I told everybody I voted. So
well, that would just be too bad.
Hey, 2000 election, it came down to 600 votes, and Florida was the deciding of state in that controversial election going back to somewhat 16 years and a contentious election. But nonetheless, I'm glad it'll be all over this evening.
No more commercials. Yes.
At least we hope it'll be all over this evening.
Please, I need a break. Yeah,
we'll just have to wait and see. But yes, please get out and vote. It's going to be a record turnout, it looks like. Early voting already, more people have early voted in Florida, I learned, than voted in the entire 2000 election altogether. And so a tremendous statistic that I heard this morning on the news.
Today is my sister's birthday, and I feel so bad for her. Who would want to be born on election day?
She's going to get no attention.
Especially of all elections, to have, this is not necessarily, the most fun election time. I don't know. Anyway, it would not be fun to be born on election
she's
day.
going to get a little bit of attention passed over on her today with it being election day. So again, please get out and vote, and hopefully this will all be done tonight. We can talk about who won tomorrow.
I do like the new intro, though. It sounds really good.
Yes, it was pretty good. We wrote that really quickly, too, so I'm glad it came out pretty nicely. So,
well, not intentionally. It just came to us quickly, and, it didn't take much effort. It was good.
Yes, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Let's go ahead and bring on our guests for the hour. We've got Daniel McDonald, who is with the Tampa Bay Wave, and he's an accelerator manager, and also Trey Steinhoff, and he's also with Kite Desk, and they're both in studio today to talk about Startup Weekend here in Tampa, and both of young millennial entrepreneurs here in studio. So, gentlemen, welcome to the program today.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So, Trey, I will start with you. Just tell us a little bit about what Startup Weekend is.
Absolutely. So Startup Weekend is a nonprofit event that we and another group of organizers run. And essentially, it's an opportunity for Tampa to get their businesses off the ground, right? A 54-hour event where you can pitch and then build your company with co-founders over the course of a weekend, and then pitch to CEOs, executives, venture capitalists, people that can really help you build your business.
What's the history of this event? Is this a first-time event? Has this been done before?
No, so Startup Weekend is a global organization. It's underneath the Techstars umbrella, but it's been going on for a bunch of years now. Tampa's had about 9. And so we're really excited about this one. We think it's going to be bigger than better than ever. We've got a lot of prizes and great judges and mentors lined up. We're really excited.
Okay, and so what are the requirements then for companies to get involved, and what is the definition of a startup?
Yeah, great question. So we want it to be a little bit of a level playing field. So there is some prerequisites to who can pitch. And so generally you can't have funding, and you also can't have your LLC or whatever structure registered. The reason for that is you're going to pick up co-founders on the weekend. You're going to find developers. You're going to find designers. You're going to find people that want to help you build your business.
So this is a true startup. This is somebody based with an idea in their head who's going to come and with
a good
pitch.
business plan, hopefully.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
From idea to hopefully a feasible business by the end of the weekend.
So really the only advice you can give them is just have their pitch done. And they don't have to have the structure done. They don't have to have any money necessarily. They just need to have the idea and have that pitch mastered then, correct?
Exactly. So you get a 1-minute pitch on Friday. From there, everybody votes on the best ideas. And then the 8 to 12 best ideas are then built and then repitched on Sunday. You can come in with a little bit of research, market research, kind of take a look at what's already out there, who your customer base might be. That's a good idea, but anything more than that, and you're getting into dangerous territory.
So who are the judges there? Who are the sharks sitting on the other side of the aisle?
We've got some great guys and gals lined up. We've got Alex Sink.
Oh, wow. She's been on the program a couple times.
Yep.
Yes.
We've got Greg Ross-Monroe from SourceToad, who's our premier sponsor. Really excited to have him. We've also got Tony DiBenedetto from TriBridge, the CEO. And then we also have Ruben Pressman from Check I'm Here, who's an awesome startup in St. Pete that just raised a bunch of money. They've got Vinic on their side, so we're really excited about it. People that can really help our competitors take their business to the next level.
So how did you and Daniel get involved in Startup Weekend? What are your roles and how did you get involved?
Yeah, great question. So I was a student at USF, and I started to take some entrepreneurship courses with Ruben and another great mentor of ours named Brent Britton, and they recommended I go to Startup Weekend. And I have not looked back since then. It's really such an incredible experience. It plugged me into the Tampa Bay Wave. It gave me all kinds of resources in the area that I didn't know existed. And it was something that was so removed from academia that it made me realize how awesome and creative business could be.
Right.
And this is the 9th one?
Yep, exactly, yeah.
And how wonderful to be surrounded by all these like-minded people that have they're all innovative and creative and have all these great ideas. And then not only that, but you're also spending the weekend with others that may not have had the idea, but would love to collaborate and bring that idea to life.
Now, this is going on Friday, November 11th, and then through the 13th. Are there tickets being sold? How does it work for people who just want to attend?
Yeah, so there are tickets online. You can go to our website. We have a short link. It's bit.ly/SWTampa. You could also go to Facebook/Startup Weekend Tampa. You'll find all the resources there, details about the judges, the sponsors, some promo videos, lots of good content out there as well.
Okay, throw it over to Daniel there. Daniel, you're also with Tampa Bay Wave. You're also over at the UT Entrepreneurship Center. You're also involved in Startup Weekend. So a young millennial that's really involved in the entrepreneurial community. First, before I ask you a little bit more about the Tampa Bay Wave, what are you seeing from the millennials in Tampa with regard to entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so Tampa's really starting to grow. It's becoming a very attractive city for entrepreneurs to come move here, especially in the tech side. With the Tampa Bay Wave, I'm getting inquiries weekly from people wanting to move from Orlando, especially from Gainesville. I've gotten a couple inquiries from Melbourne. They all want to move here, mostly because of the resources, the cost of living here, the amazing, you have great communities between Sarasota, St. Pete, here, and New Tampa, and they just really, really want to move here to take advantage of all the resources. And also, it's a really immersive community. So if you come here and you're saying, I want to build a business, everyone's saying, how can we help? And so it's a very connective community, and you're almost like a second degree connection from anyone that you want to be a part of here. You just got to be proactive about it. So so the way that Startup Weekend kind of plays a role into that is that we're actually doing a lot of promotions in Gainesville. We're doing some promotions in Orlando right now. And we've had people actually drive all the way from Gainesville and Orlando just to participate in Startup Weekend here in Tampa, because of the amazing resources that we have put together.
Are openings still available for people to register to pitch their idea?
For sure.
So that's still go to that website that you gave, and then is there a cost to enter, or is that free for people that want to pitch? How does that work for people who want to pitch?
Yeah, so currently right now the price is around $85, but we did create a special promo code to all the listeners out there.
Okay.
If you type in Meloni, all caps, you'll get a $30 promo code off.
Okay, very good. Meloni, all caps. Be sure to use that. We'll get that up on the recap as well. And how long of a pitch do they get once they're there? Is it a 5-minute pitch, a 3-minute pitch?
So,
I don't know.
so just we're expecting around 60 to 80 attendance, maybe 100, and so we give everyone about 1-minute pitch.
Okay,
maybe
so they got to be tight.
Ask that.
It might be a little bit less. And if we get about 80, we expect around 60 people to pitch. So it's a very exciting experience where you really have to make your pitch memorable because you're trying to become unique between 80 ideas or 60 ideas. And then what we do is this really fun voting process with Post-it notes. Everybody gets about 3 Post-it notes. They go vote on what they think is the best ideas, and then we select the top 8 or 10. It's very open space in a way that we pivot throughout the whole experience.
Now, I know, Daniel, you advise a lot of different businesses, and the pitch is essential to what it is that they do. For people that are listening and want to get involved in this Startup Weekend, or just anytime they're speaking to an investor, what are some good tips you can share with them about how to pitch properly?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually a pitch coach within the Tampa Bay community. I've actually helped out a lot of one of the previous winners of Startup Weekend, LiftSync, with their pitch for investors. And essentially, a couple of things that you definitely want to look at. You definitely want to address the 4, which is I always call the problem, the solution, and the value / the market. But then the last question and my favorite question I like to ask every single entrepreneur is why. And essentially, it's kind of goes down to the Simon Sinek TED Talk of the power of why. And why do you do this? And you can answer that question however you like. Is this a business that's really important because of its market size or because it's passionate to you? And try to make that an immersive story within making it memorable.
Is a minute long enough to entice investors to want to get involved? I mean, or would they need more? I mean, it's got to be tight if it's going to be a minute.
For sure. But just to be clear, the minute pitch isn't for necessarily the investors. It's actually just for the people who are participating to vote on the top ideas who will get to pitch on Sunday. That pitch is about 5 minutes long, and that's in front of our 4 awesome judges.
Okay.
So it's got to be enough at least to bring their attention and to bring them in.
Yeah, your 1 minute pitch is to get some votes and to get some people to join your team. So you can hustle people and be like, I need a developer, I need a designer, I need a brander, and
so there are a lot of people attending that are just ready to join a team. Like they're just ready for the best idea, and then they're going to spend the weekend trying to enhance it and get it going, and then win on Sunday.
We have some great relationships with local development companies such as Full Shore Solutions, Green Bar Labs, Source Toad, and more. And what they like to do is they like to actually make their employees participate in it, even though they're employees of the company, just because of the amazing experience. I mean, I just graduated from the University of Tampa MBA, and nothing against business school, but I learned more in these 54 hours about business than I did in a whole semester of business school.
Wow, incredible. And you said there's been some success stories that have come out of the last 9 years. You mentioned Lift Sync. Can you tell me a little bit more about what Lift Sync is and that story?
Yeah, so Lift Sync took first place last year at Startup Week in Tampa, and essentially at the time it was four UT students, University of Tampa students. They pitched their idea, and then they won first place, and they decided to keep going with the idea and the business afterwards. And I was their mentor. I kind of mentor them a little bit once per week, and essentially they brushed it down to 3 students, and they kept going, kept pitching, and I kept helping them refine their idea, refine their product, doing the market validation, and it got to the point where I saw a lot of synergy between their idea and their team with a couple local VC firms, and I decided to make the introduction. Before you know it, they get a low 6-figure investment as college students at the University of Tampa to make their idea even more a reality, and they're starting to get a lot of interest from big-time universities. Essentially what they are, they call themselves the Fitbit for the weight room.
Wow.
They have a 2-band wearable system where it syncs up with all the weights inside. You don't need to have your phone on you. You grab the weights, and it syncs up to every single exercise that you're doing with the reps and the sets, and then when you put it down, it all syncs up to your phone.
Very cool. And you use the term VC, talking about venture capital firms.
Yes.
Those are the people that are putting the money behind the ideas, obviously.
Venture capital firms, private equity firms, all of them.
All right. Currently talking to Daniel McDonald and Trey Steinhoff about Startup Weekend here in Tampa. Again, a couple of young millennial entrepreneurs and also involved with the Tampa Bay Wave. And Trey's going to talk to us about his involvement with Kite Desk when we come back from the break. You're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa. celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. 4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Good morning. Typical delays on southbound 275 between Fletcher Avenue and Hillsboro, but we're seeing delays in the northbound direction near Fowler Avenue due to a crash in the left-hand lane. Heavy traffic on the southbound side of the Suncoast Parkway from around Lutz Lake Fern to Hutchinson, and also we're seeing delays off the Howard Franklin Bridge into Tampa. Earlier problems on the westbound side of the Howard Franklin Bridge have been cleared up. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick Hillsboro Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. Does your child struggle to concentrate and pay attention? What looks like ADD or autism may actually be caused by lead poisoning. Lead is a neurotoxin. It can cause permanent brain damage. Find out how to protect your family. Go to leadsafeamerica.org.
Today, mostly sunny and warm with a high 82. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 65. Tomorrow, a 20% chance of showers and storms, high 80.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And welcome back to the program. Again, currently talking to Trey Steinhoff and Daniel McDonald. We're talking about Startup Weekend there. So if you just got that idea and you're looking for a team, you definitely want to put that on your calendar. Again, that's going to be going on Friday, November 11th, 12th, and 13th. Now, Trey, you're also involved in Kite Desk. What is Kite Desk?
Yeah, so Kite Desk is a local software company. We're a startup. We've been around for a few years now, and we've been offering our current product for, I'd say, close to a year. Essentially, what Kite Desk does is it helps sales teams create predictable pipeline. And by that, essentially, it's one interface where all of your business development and sales reps can do lead generation and also work those leads through the outbound sales process.
Okay, is this like a Salesforce type of a product or a top producer for realtors?
It sits next to your CRM.
Okay.
So think about it as like the one place for all of your outbound sales. Everything lives there, and you can track your progress, have analytics to see if you're improving, refine your content, everything that you might do for outbound sales, emailing, calling, etc., all in Kite Desk.
And so how does this differ from a traditional CRM then that are, like I mentioned, they're like Salesforce?
A CRM is more of a kind of like a repository for all of your potential deals, all of your opportunities, your leads, etc. Kite Desk is focused on the actual actionable items of the outbound process.
Okay.
Those interactions that make or break the sale, those happen in Kite Desk, and you also find those leads in the first place in Kite Desk, and then you can push it back into your CRM so that all of your records are up to date. The executive staff can then run the reports on Salesforce, you know how that goes.
So who is your client then for Kite Desk?
Who's my client?
Yeah, who's your niche person? Who's buying Kite Desk?
Good question. Generally growth companies that are focused on outbound sales. We tend to hit it off with software companies a lot. You know how that works. Software companies always work with other software companies. And so really, the truth is, Kite Desk can work for anybody doing outbound sales. We have an incredible amount of data. The platform is really user-friendly. If you are trying to do any kind of outbound, Kite Desk can help.
Would you still need to use a CRM with Kite Desk, or could you eliminate having?
That's a good question. I think if you're a small company, if you're like a relatively new company, you could probably use Kite Desk as your CRM. But I would encourage you to have a CRM on top of that, just because you're going to be getting inbound leads, you're going to have your recommendations and referrals, you're going to do your outbound sales process. CRM is a great place to house all of that information. Kite Desk really helps you with outbound sales.
Okay. Daniel, I'll throw it back over to you. I want to learn a little bit more about the Tampa Bay Wave, a great resource here in Tampa Bay for people. So tell the listeners about what Tampa Bay Wave is.
Sure. The Tampa Bay Wave essentially is a nonprofit here. Started around 2009, first as a meetup just for entrepreneurs to kind of come together and help each other out. And eventually we got a federal grant and we're like, right, we got to make this larger. So Tampa Bay Wave, essentially, we're a local accelerator / incubator where we support local tech entrepreneurs. Our mission statement is that we're here to build, launch, grow, breakout tech companies in Tampa Bay. At the moment, we have about 36 companies within our program, all between 3 different phases of build, launch, and grow. Depending on how much money they've raised, it's how much is what determines in which category they are. Plus, we have a community venture center that's another about 25 companies. So in total, we're serving around 60 companies in the community.
Yeah, you have a great facility downtown.
Yes.
I just happened to be walking down the street one day and saw it and went in. And I think Gracie,
Yeah,
I've talked to her a few times and I have reached out and offered I would love to be involved and help and
Sure.
do whatever I
Yeah,
can
of
to
course.
help the organization. But I hadn't heard back. But what a great establishment. I know typically when you launched, you were dealing with or focusing more on tech. But is it true that you've expanded that reach outward, some, so it's other than tech as well?
A little bit, yeah. So the program is still solely focused on like tech entrepreneurs, but we then have the Venture Center, which is a lot. Sometimes we'll have community workshops. Sometimes we'll host community events. Also, we have office space and co-working space that we allow anyone to rent out. It doesn't matter who it is or what type of business they have. And we're starting to implement now. We have an amazing mentor network of 80 plus high profile or high quality mentors here in Tampa Bay. And what we're implementing, hopefully soon, a new program that will let our mentors immerse with the co-workers and the people who are running out the office space as well.
So is it since 2009? I didn't realize it was that old. So you're going on almost 8 years already.
Yeah.
And so what are the resources then that people can use at Tampa Bay Wave? And you said there's a co-working space, and what else is involved there for people that
Sure, there's co-working. You can rent an office space. We host workshops. We will let your meetup or local community event, if you want to host something, we'll definitely work.
You're going to be on the front line of knowing about events and funding opportunities and grants and things of that nature also by getting involved with the Tampa Bay Wave. Now, you used a term that is known within business circles, but not so much maybe within the listenership: accelerators and incubators.
Yeah.
Tell us what you mean by the two.
Sure. So incubator essentially is an organization that helps incubate businesses, as in they provide them office space to help them grow, but they're not so much hands-on. Whereas as accelerator is a lot hands-on. They basically almost play a role as like a consultant or as an advisor, and they do strategic introductions. And that's where we do both. So the venture center side for the community is very much of like the incubation. The accelerator side for the tech companies is very much like where I come in as a consultant. I have another 3 consultants that I actually let them work with the companies as they grow.
Okay.
And so it works out really well.
And Tampa Bay Wave, we got another resource here in the Tampa Bay area. You can learn more about that at tampabaywave.org. Again, tampabaywave.org. And again, currently talking to Daniel McDonald and Trey Steinhoff about that Startup Weekend and some of the other resources here in the Tampa Bay region. We'll be back in a moment.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Avenue, seeing delays in the northbound direction due to a crash in the left-hand lane just north of Fowler. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Think It Up.
Hi, I'm Nick Jonas, and I'm here to tell you about Think It Up, a new initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join us at thinkitup.org.
1250 winds weather center forecast. Partly sunny skies today with the temperatures into the lower 80s. Overnight low in the mid 60s. Look for some showers tomorrow. A bit more cloud cover as well. Temps will range in the upper 70s, around low 80s Wednesday through Friday. Impact Radio 1250 winds WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed the show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. If you're wondering how to get onto the program, you can visit tbsinterview.com and see the request form over there. Again, tbsinterview.com. It's also a benefit of the Tampa Bay Business Owners Organization, so by becoming a member in the business network, you can also come onto the radio show. Currently talking to Daniel McDonald. He is with the Startup Weekend and also Tampa Bay Wave, and also Trey Steinhoff, who's also involved in Startup Weekend and also with Kite Desk there we were covering there in that last segment. So Daniel, Startup Weekend, what are some of the prizes available with this weekend?
Sure. So this is actually like one of our largest prize packages we put together. It's always a community effort. We have tons of consulting hours. We will actually provide a free whole year of co-working for free for the first place team. 6 months for the Station House over in St. Pete and 6 months over at the Tampa Bay Wave. And I mean, just awesome.
When you say co-working, what's exactly involved? You get the building, what you don't have to pay an electric bill and all the other stuff too?
So
what's all involved?
Yeah, so essentially it's like an opportunity, it's a place where you can kind of go, use all their Wi-Fi, they'll have resources, you'll be surrounded by entrepreneurs as well, so you can collaborate. Station House and the Wave, we both provide community workshops and events, so you can be able to participate in all those. But it's just a place where you can kind of go and use it as office space in a way.
Is it private offices or open offices?
Yeah, so co-working is typically like we're working side by side in an open environment.
So you're sharing all the resources. In a typical environment, you're going to pay a monthly fee that would then cover all those things. But one of the prizes for Startup Weekend is a free 1-year co-working agreement.
Wave and Station House. We also have lunches with Tony DiBenedetto, with Ruben Pressman, with Alex Sink. We're going to have a free video package. Ridge, who was also on your show with Michelle Royal, she's going to provide a free 3-hour interactive custom visualization story session. We're going to have some free photographers. Every single top 3 places are going to get some free legal consulting as well, and possibly some pro bono work. And then also like some development firms, they're going to provide some consulting hours, and as well as some marketing firms.
How many different winners are there going to be? How many different prize packages are going to be divvied out?
The first place prize is by far the largest one. It's going to average around $7,000 of total like value that they're going to get. And then second and third place, it's just kind of like half of those, and then it just kind of like
And then an unwritten prize would be if you entice an investor to throw some money into the company too. But that's not guaranteed though, right? That's what you're hoping to happen.
Exactly.
And you're also hoping to get people to come into your organization and then build a team. And so that's the idea.
What could help is we do for first place we have 3 hours of free consulting and pitch coaching from Topher Morrison and Key Person.
Oh, Topher, all right, one of our good friends there.
Also,
sounds like a great weekend.
Oh yeah, and then also the first place team will get to come on your show.
Awesome. So. Oh yeah, absolutely. And you're also another resource here I wanted to mention is you're very involved in is 1 Million Cups. Yes. Talk to the community about 1 Million Cups.
Sure. 1 Million Cups essentially is a chapter. The Tampa chapter is backed up by the Kauffman Foundation in Kansas City. It's there's about 90 chapters all across the United States. What we do is we allow entrepreneurs or businesses to just pitch for 6 minutes, and then they get 20 minutes of community feedback. So it's just people come in, pitch their business, and get like just 20 minutes of awesome feedback from community profiles. Sometimes the commissioners are there. It's over in the ECC and EBOR, and it's just a great organization to get a lot of connections or leads for your business.
And I continuously want to attend one of those and be a part of it and watch, and I've yet to do it. And it's going on a couple years now that I've heard of it. I know now they had St. Pete was doing that for a while, and now Tampa is as well, correct? Mm-hmm. So eventually, Jamie, we have to get over there and.
It's right after my show on Wednesdays.
Our
so
show.
I'm stuck here, getting out of here.
Our
show. Our show. I know.
Our show.
She's thrown a wrench into my my rhetoric these days. So now we're talking about Lift Sync earlier is one of the success stories coming out of Startup Weekend. Super Authority or Super what is
Auth, yes.
Super Auth. What is this?
Super Auth is another company. So Lift Sync won first place last year. Super Auth didn't even place top 3 last year, but they decided to keep going. And our premier sponsor, Greg Rossman, over at SourceCode, he really liked what he saw. Essentially, they're kind of like a extra security step for logging in, and it uses thumbprints and QR codes to actually like log into websites. And SourceCode really liked what they saw, so they came into an equity partnership, and they developed all their systems. So now you can actually see their whole product online, and his idea all of a sudden came to life.
Very cool, very cool. Trey, let me throw it over to you, both young millennials. What are you seeing with regard, because you're hearing so much about the millennial generation. They think differently, they act differently. Are you seeing more of an entrepreneurial mindset out of your friends and your peers, or what are you seeing from the community with regard to business?
Yeah, absolutely. As a millennial, obviously I get asked about millennials all the time. Honestly, I think that the startup and the entrepreneurial attitude most accurately reflects millennials' values.
Right.
And, don't let me speak for all millennials, but we really want to know that we make an impact. Right? At least that's how I feel, right? I want to know that my work is valuable. I want to know that I'm not just a cog in a wheel. And working for a small business, taking control of your own ideas, I think that that's really appealing to the younger generation because they know what's out there. They know what their options are.
Right. And traditional generations, the older generations were taught to go to school and get a job and, become part of the, the working class and everything. But is that the mindset of the millennial today? They all want to be impactful and they all want to have a central role. And is that sustainable, though?
That's a great question.
It can be with the right tools, which is one of the reasons I think WAVE and those organizations are so great. And I love the fact that entrepreneurship is encouraged.
But yeah, you have to have that middle working class and everything. You only have so many people at the top leading the way, and that's kind of some of the disconnect that I'm getting from some of the millennials is that they don't realize that the middle class is what sustains the economy and everything. How would you respond?
That's a fair point. There's always going to be those people that want to step in at a larger business and play the role. People that have a family, have other priorities. But I guess I would make the argument that not every millennial is going to go out there and try to be Mark Zuckerberg. They're going to try to be the best, little millennial they can be. And They're going to start their business that might not make them $1 million, but they're going to be passionate about it. Maybe it's a fruit stand, maybe it's a food truck, maybe it's a software company. But I think you're going to see more millennials that are going to try to make something for themselves, make a real impact in their community.
It's definitely different than when I was in school, and I'm 39 now, so I'm not too far removed from your community, your generation, I should say. But, a lot of my friends weren't talking about starting businesses. They were talking about finishing their degrees and going into the workforce. And so I'm seeing an entrepreneurial movement. One of the reasons why I like to do this program. You all are also on the front lines of it. You're involved with the, UT and USF business communities and everything. And so, Daniel, how would you respond? And what are you seeing, inside, today's millennial with regard to entrepreneurship?
Yeah, and I think you're also seeing a response on the university side. So the universities are starting to offer a lot more entrepreneurship programs. They're starting to offer entrepreneurship certificates. Their clubs are starting to reach over 80-plus students. And so it's just you're seeing adaptation as well in the university system where it's like, all right, You can actually take classes where I'm going to help you go build a business, and
Right.
you get credits for that. So, and I think the millennials are definitely responsive to that.
How in your opinion, how have things changed at the University of Tampa with the
Oh my
new
gosh.
innovation center, and how fabulous is that?
Yeah, it's a beautiful building. It's a $40 million building, and it just got launched a year ago, and it's just amazing. It took a great collaborative effort between the University of Tampa alumni, and it's also for the community. Just so people know, it's not like there's no classrooms up there. It's solely for like a work environment. So the students can only be up there if they're working on their startup, and professors can only be up there if they're actually helping students like build their startup as well. Same thing with anyone in the community. We will only host events from the community if it's entrepreneurial related and our students can attend.
The think pods are really cool there. Is that what they're called? Like the think pods that you sit into? And I love all the
They're
quotes.
the Google Think Pods, so they actually come from the Google campus. So.
Now, Trey, you're a graduate of USF. You founded the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Society, I see, and you're also selected as a member of the College of Business Top 25 of Under 25. So congratulations on that. I was there in 2005 to 2007, graduated over there with a finance degree. When did the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Society get together, and what are some of its resources and mission?
Yeah, sure. So I actually was so inspired by Startup Weekend when I attended that I went on to start that organization at USF. So when I was there, we were taking people around to different co-working spaces. I kind of made it my mission to expose students to the resources that I didn't know existed until I went to Startup Weekend. And so, the nature of clubs at universities is you graduate and you pass the torch, and they're doing their own good things now. I'll have to check in with them to get you more details about the kind of resources they're putting out there. But really the mission is to kind of show the students of USF what's out there and what their community has to offer.
So we're talking about Kite Desk. You mentioned earlier that you were in your third year. It was a startup in your third year. When are you not a startup any longer? How does that go? Is it 4 or 5 years, or when?
That's a great question. Danny and I were talking about what the textbook definition might be. I don't know if anybody wants that. For me, I think it probably has a lot to do with your funding. I think it probably has a lot to do with your employee size. And I think it probably has a lot to do with the way the organization is structured. How quickly can you move and change directions? How much transparency is there between the different departments? How horizontal is the organization? I'm sure that there's a technical definition out there about revenue and profitability, but for me, a startup is kind of about the mentality and how the business reacts to the market or whatever the outside forces might be.
Daniel, you've advised over 120 different companies. You have an MBA now from University of Tampa, correct?
Yep.
And so what are you hearing from companies when you're advising them? I mean, I think a number one concern would be where to find funding and everything, but what is a number one concern that you hear from companies over and over again?
Sure. There's definitely a capital gap within Tampa Bay. We typically see that past the seed round, past angel rounds, once they're actually starting to raise above $2 million or so. We're starting to see a little bit of a gap there here in Tampa Bay. So that's definitely one of the things that definitely come up. But I consult a lot on the early stage side. So it's a lot of people who are wanting to transition to make their own business, and what are the opportunities that I need to do, but mostly on the validation. Like how can you use Tampa Bay's market to help validate your idea, whether it's a clothing company for a child or whether it's this advanced software app that you want to do in Tampa. So I mostly advise on that side.
Okay. And funding resources in the Tampa Bay region. I talked to a lot of different companies through the year. The tech guys are loving it, but everybody else is like, where's the money at? So let's talk a little bit just about some of the resources. I know Florida Funders, for instance, is a resource out there, but it's mostly tech. Correct me if I'm wrong, but talk to us about some of the resources.
Sure. So locally, there's definitely a lot of individual angels that you can go out and find through networking events. But if you're looking for organizations that kind of collectively represent a lot of these angel investors or a lot of VC funds, you're looking at Florida Funders here in Tampa Bay. Mark Blumenthal's doing a great job with them. They've already invested in a good amount of companies here, including Check I'm Here, who's one of our judges. Then you're also looking at the Florida Angel Network. You're also looking at New Angel Network. They're outside Tampa, but they also have angels that are listed on there. So those are organizations that you can just kind of hit up and just be like, here's a business plan I want to pitch to someone. Here's an executive summary. Who can I talk to? And
And I see you advise for, and I met them at the Business Symposium, ARC Applications.
Yes,
They're also from what I gathered from them, they're an investment group. They'll get in there and kind of help you out with your business. Explain a little bit more about their role.
ARC Applications is I'm an advisor for them, and they're an amazing private equity firm, a family firm here. It's a father, a son, and a son-in-law. All they put together a fund, and we've officially made our first 2 investments. We've invested locally here. We invested in LiftSync, who I mentioned, who won Startup Weekend, and also we invested in PeerFit with Ed Buckley here locally, and they're amazing. They love to give back to the Tampa Bay community. They love to help out, give consulting hours, and they've been huge supporters of Startup Weekend as well. They are Justin Smith and Dan Greco, who are both managing partners of ARC Applications. They are going to be mentors as well for the weekend. So you're going to have actual investors mentor your idea throughout all of Startup Weekend, and we have some amazing mentors as well who are involved in the investment side.
And I think apps are a big business out there right now with this move away from desktop into mobile applications and everything. What are you seeing with people with ideas with regard to the different apps? Are a lot of people coming to you and seeing these with these app ideas?
Yeah, so at Startup Weekend, you're going to see like a lot of people pitch app ideas, but you're starting to see an interesting shift between apps and also web apps and stuff like that. The app market.
What's the difference between apps and web apps?
So a website that like kind of optimizes as an app when you visit their website is called a web app, where an app is like you actually have to download it.
Yeah, on your phone.
Okay.
Phone versus desktop. Yes. All right, and let's see, we got about a minute left here. Let's circle back around to Startup Weekend. Let's hit that one more time. Trey, if you want to talk to us about that, again, going on Friday, November 11th to 13th, how people can get involved in this.
Absolutely. So if you've ever wanted to start a business, if you have an idea that you would like to pitch, if you are looking to learn about what it means to be an entrepreneur, or you just want to see the resources that are available in Tampa, this is the event for you. We've put together a lot of incredible people, and we're trying to do what we can for you in our community. So if you do want to get involved, you can go to facebook.com/startupweekendtampa, or you could go right to our website at bit.ly/swtampa. And, for the record, you can come out and pitch an idea, or you can come out and learn just to participate. And if you can't make the entire weekend, we would absolutely love to have you guys out on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. You can see the final pitches. We're going to have a demo day and after party. We've partnered with a local art and music collaborative called Heart, and they're going to have some live music, some live art. We're going to have food and drinks. Great opportunity to talk to all of these judges and mentors and innovative people in your community.
And all you need is the idea, right? You're there to build a team, hopefully get some investment, win some prizes, but ultimately you don't need to show up with a company, a structure, or really any money. Just come there with the idea and know how to pitch, right?
It sounds like a great weekend and an opportunity to be surrounded by so many like-minded individuals. So very inspiring for everyone.
And if you need some help with the pitch, Daniel is a pitch coach as well, correct? You can get in touch with him and do a little consulting with him. So Trey Steinhoff and Daniel McDonald, both, thank you so much for being in studio today.
Thank you, and good luck with Startup Weekend.
And coming back from the break, we're going to be doing our weekly What's Trending segment. We got Matt Ashwood on the phone line because he's out at the polls voting, and it's his first experience with voting. And so we'll be hearing from him when we come back from the break. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank. And that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Good morning. Slow traffic on the interstates around Tampa Bay, including southbound I-75 from before Fletcher Avenue to I-4. Also seeing those delays on southbound 275 from south of Fowler Avenue to Hillsborough. And crash in Hillsborough County on Dr. King and McIntosh. Also one on southbound US 19 between Tampa and Curlew Roads. This one near County Road 39. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udor Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Hillsborough County Public Works. Whether you're an avid recycler, never recycler, or a sometimes recycler, you can help make Hillsborough County's curbside program even better. Complete an online survey or join a focus group to share how you recycle at hcflgov.net/recycling survey.
Today, mostly sunny and warm with a high 82. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 65. Tomorrow, a 20% chance of showers and storms, high 80.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And welcome back to the program. It's That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly with all new intros and everything. And hopefully we didn't confuse Matt Ashwood, who is on the phone line with us. Matt's typically here in studio with us. So, Matt, how you doing out there at the polls?
Doing great. I'm actually already done.
Oh, you're already done, so you got in and out, huh? This is Matt's.
7:30. I was out by 7:40.
Matt's first experience, by the way, voting. Tell us about your experience there.
Yeah, some of your listeners that are headed to the polls now, you'll be in for a treat because there were no lines. But yeah, it was kind of exciting. It was just really exciting for me, just being a first-time voter. For those that don't know, I'm originally from England and just became a citizen last November. So this is my first time participating in the democracy, and yeah, it's really cool to be a part of it.
And what area of Tampa were you in right now? You said that you got in and out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was in the town and country area.
I'm sure the lines are going to come.
Well, a lot of We're hearing this morning that record early voting. As a matter of fact, more people early voted in Florida than voted in the entire 2000 presidential election, and so I think a lot of people took advantage of the early voting.
Well, hopefully at least that wouldn't discourage other people from going, because I can imagine if people pull up to the polls and the lines are too long, it might discourage many of them from voting.
Right.
So.
What's it like with the activists and the protesters or the people standing around outside? Is it a pretty tame environment out there, or was
it's
it
not even 8 a.m. yet? It can't be too bad.
It's been a contentious election. I can imagine it's going to be a little tight out there. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, nothing crazy at my place. Just a lot of signage outside. I guess they're still sleeping in. So maybe if I came back around noon, there'll be a lot more activity. Maybe some fights going or something like that. But
now Kelly came in this morning. Yeah, Kelly came in this morning, and she voted in the early election there, or the early voting, and she gave me one of those "I voted" stickers. So I'm wondering if I walk into my polling place today with one of these stickers, I'm gonna get thrown out or not. So I don't know if I can wear that yet. They're gonna be screaming voter fraud. It's already in the news. So if I'll show up on CNN tonight. Look, this guy walked into the polling place. It says right on him he's already voted. Here he is coming in doing a vote again. So
well, then maybe they'll throw you out. Then you won't be able to vote.
Did you see anybody walking into the polling place with an "I voted" sticker already on?
Oh yeah, I got my sticker. Wearing proud. When are you going to vote?
Right after the show. I got to drive back up to Lutz. But did you see anybody walking in with the sticker already on? I'm on the front lines of this voter fraud problem that we're having here. These people wearing these "I voted" stickers and circling back around and getting back inside there. Are you seeing that problem out there?
No. Everyone's happy. Everyone's like it was kind of surprising how few people there are, but everyone was kind of pleasant. Even the voting lady, the lady that gave me my ballot, we were joking around a little, but
now we didn't when you
pleasant experience.
When you voted, we didn't have those where you had in 2000 where you had to punch out the chads. Was this a fill in the blank type of election form? It wasn't where you had to punch the chad out, was it?
No, it's a fill-in. Kind of reminded me of high school days with the Scantrons.
Those chads caused more problems than we care to remember back in 2000. I don't know if you were here in 2000, but we had to punch out the selection, and a lot of those little papers ended up hanging on the ballots, and then caused quite the issue in the 2000 election.
Yeah, I heard about those issues over back in England.
So I would have been surprised if they bring that back. Matt, we got the end of the program. We appreciate you checking in, and thanks so much for contributing to our democracy and getting out there and vote.
Great. Thanks.
Stay safe out there.
See you tomorrow.
All right. Again, that was Matt Ashwood, typically in studio doing a What's Trending segment. But today, obviously, What's Trending is voting. And so that's why he is out there doing his civic duty, and proud to do that. He is a very young millennial, and also recently became an American citizen again, coming over from England. Learn more about this program over at TampaBayRadio.com, and you can get on the program by visiting TBSinterview.com. Stay tuned. We got a whole another hour of the program when we come back from the break.